What's up, buddies? It's your boy Buddy here, and I hope you all are having a fantastic week. I know that I surely am, and most importantly, I'm having a great week because of all of you guys. So thank you so much to all of you who have joined the channel, that have subscribed, have liked, commented, shared my videos. I really appreciate it, guys. I know that this is a whole new thing and a new adventure for me, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of the support. So thank you so much. If you're new here and this is your first video and you haven't yet subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the videos that are coming, because a lot more are going to be coming up soon. Also, please make sure that you stick around to the end of the video, because I have a special giveaway that I'm doing for all of you guys, and it's this brand new Incase DSLR Camera Pro Pack. This is my go-to bag for all of my camera gear. This is what holds every single bit of the equipment that I carry with me when I go on trips or I'm just going out for a day to film, shoot. It holds my drone perfectly. It's deep enough to carry all of the biggest lenses. It's perfect. It's my favorite bag ever. This one, unfortunately, is not my bag. This is brand new and it's for you guys. So I will show you guys at the end of the video how you can win this. So yeah, cool. Now let's get into the part of the video that you actually came here for today, and that is the top 5 camera must-haves for shooting cars. Number 5, action cameras. Now, my trusty is a GoPro Hero 5. This has been my favorite GoPro camera since I've been filming cars. I've used the Sony Action Cam, I've used the GoPro Sessions, I have used, what else have I used? Yeah. So the Sony Action Cams, the GoPro Hero Sessions, the GoPro Hero 5. I need to get my hands on the new DJI Action Osmo, or Osmo Action. It has a lot of great features, like a front-facing camera so that you can actually put your action camera in the windshield and see the actual shot without just having to guesstimate where it's going to be. So that's a cool feature that is a must-have. And also the GoPro Hero 7, as well as the DJI Action Osmo, has incredible stabilization features, in-camera stabilization. That is super, super important, especially when you're, you got a lot of, rough roads and there's a lot of shaking going on. So it's good to have some sort of stabilization built into those action cameras, and these things now have become incredible. I believe this one right here, the Hero 5, runs for $299-ish. Not exactly sure how much it is now, but the new DJI Action Osmo is $349. However, on Amazon, there are a bunch of knockoff brands that have pretty much copied exactly what GoPro and DJI are doing, and they're selling them for $100 or less. And according to the ratings on Amazon, they are very good. So take this for what it's worth. I have yet to use one of them myself. So if you're looking for something cheap to get started, I would say that that's a good route to go. Just make sure that with your action camera that you pick something that has at least 1080p. Most of them have 4K now, which is the resolution size. Most of them have 4K now, but I would say at least at the bottom line, like if you're just getting like a $5 action camera that you find at a knockoff market, make sure that has 1080p. I would also make sure that it shoots 60 frames a second. That way that you can conform the footage, and I'll do another video down the road about conforming footage and creating slow-mo. But essentially you're getting more frames into the picture, and the more frames that you get, the more information you have available for you to speed up and slow down the footage. So just make sure that you have something that has 60 frames per second. And yeah, I mean, look, the must-haves for filming a car vary tremendously. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of tools that you can use at your disposal for filming cars. But I just want you guys to understand that this list is comprehensive of, like, if you're getting started, this is the best way to do it. You could use a cell phone, you could use a regular just point and shoot camera, but I always find that action cameras are the best way to go when you're starting out, because they're durable. You can get them in tight little spots within the windshield, or you can put them on the side of a car without having to worry about it falling off, because you're not going to want to put your phone on the side of the car. I mean, that's dumb. Don't do it. Don't. Number 4, Polarizers. Polarizers are the most underrated piece of equipment or accessory that you could have when you're shooting cars. This thing is incredible, and I cannot tell you how much you need one of these in your kit, at least for your main camera that you're going to be shooting your B-roll and everything with. Just make sure that you have one of these, because what a circular polarizer is going to do for you is it's going to cut drastically the amount of reflections that you have on a car. And you can also spin this little guy to place the reflections exactly where you wanted. You know, you can choose as little or as much as you want. I think it's great. It's great. And it also adds deep saturated colors back to your picture. So like you get a lot of detail, beautiful shots for your camera. I can't tell you how important this is. You just need to make sure that you select the right diameter size when you're going and purchasing one, because there's been times where I've actually just hopped into Best Buy, grabbed the first one that I saw, and I didn't even pay attention to the diameter, and it didn't fit my lens, and I had to jimmy rig something up where I'm taping it, and it was a whole thing, and it's not something that I'm proud of. It's not one of my finest moments, but I digress. And they make these for action cameras, so you can get little polarizers for your action camera to make sure that you have everything that you need. The other thing that a polarizer allows you to do, it allows you to shoot through glass. And you know, traditionally it's harder to shoot through glass, especially on mid-engine cars where the bay may not open completely, but at least you can get in there with a polarizer and cut a lot of the reflection out of that glass and really get a cool shot of the engine bay. So yeah, so there you go. But the most important thing with a circular polarizer is that it protects your lenses. You know, like if you drop your lens in a weird position and something hits the glass, it's gonna hit the filter. It's not gonna hit the actual lens itself. You know, that's super important. It happened to me recently. We were doing something with Supercar Blondie, completely shattered the filter, but it protected the lens, and like that saved me thousands of dollars on a $150 filter. So yeah, there you go. Number 3, stabilizers. Now, stabilizers is super important when you're shooting cars, because there's gonna be times where you're shooting out of a window or out of the back hatch of a car, which you must do safely, and make sure that you have a film permit and you have the proper people doing it. You know, that's the risk that I'm gonna say, or you're gonna get a ticket like I did. But stabilizers, make sure that you have a stabilizer for your camera. Make sure that you balance it correctly, because when you're shooting cars, you're gonna be shooting out of these windows, and it's gonna be a lot of bumps and shakes, like I was saying earlier. And it's super critical that you have something that's gonna stabilize a lot of that footage, rather than using a warp stabilizer in your post-production. So the best one that I've used so far is a DJI Ronin S. This thing is perfect for DSLR cameras or full frame digital cameras for things like the Sony a7 III or the Fuji X-T3. This DJI Ronin S is money. This most sexy, buttery shots. I can drop it down low and move it across the pavement with the car. There's so many, you know, use cases with a DJI Ronin S. But don't limit yourself to thinking that just a DJI Ronin S or a Movi rig is gonna be the one for you, because there's so many different ways that you can start off with. You can even go with a GoPro Karma grip. You know, I can throw my GoPro Hero 5 in here and just get the sexiest little smooth shots with it, and it's great, especially when you crank up the frames per second on your GoPro. That's one way of doing it. They even make those stabilizers for your phone, so that you can, you know, just put your iPhone or your Android into the stabilizer and just get that beautiful, sexy, buttery footage. It's a must-have, guys, when you're shooting cars. It adds production value through the roof. So get yourself a stabilizer. Link in the description below for a multitude of stabilizers that I would recommend you go after. Number 2, tripod. Now, starting off, you don't necessarily need a tripod, but if you're doing car videos where, you know, you're doing a review or you're doing a little walk and talk and you're by yourself, it's not always the right case to hold the camera out like this and walk around and review the car. Sometimes you need something a little more professional and a little more static, and I think a tripod is the best way to go. Unfortunately, I'm currently using my tripod right now on this one, but another way that you could do it is by getting yourself a Joby GorillaPod. I think that this is a great way that you can pack light and still be able to pull off something static with a very stable shot. This GorillaPod, for example, like I can, you know, put it up in a tree, or I can put it on some railing on a staircase. I can do it, you know, onto the back of my car. This is a great tool to have. There's plenty of cheap cheap tripods available, and they're all made so well now. I don't necessarily think that you need to go get something super big and heavy unless you're shooting on a majorly like intense camera and you really just want to protect it. But most tripods now, they're light and compact, and they're perfect for doing this kind of stuff for car videos. And number one, the most important thing when shooting car videos, in my opinion, because I use a ton of action cameras, whether it's some 360 camera or GoPro or even a point and shoot camera that I'm wanting to mount in some particular way, you need to have yourself proper suction mounts. My go-to has always been this Fat Gecko double suction mount. In my last video, I explained that I think a triple mount may be the best thing for me moving forward, which is totally fine. It's the same concept. It just adds another suction mount that gives another level of stability to it. But suction mounts, you need them, guys. They're gonna save you so much money, gonna protect you from losing your action cameras. You just gotta make sure that you get the right ones, because there are suction mounts out there that are just terrible. Like GoPro suction mounts that come with the actual GoPro, I'm not a big fan of them. I'm really not. I've never had good success with it, especially when I'm shooting things over 65, 70 miles an hour. The Fat Gecko is the ones that come through. Now, there are even more intense suction mounts that I get that have, an air pressure chamber. Those are my favorite in the entire world. They're much more costly, but they do the trick and more. So these suction mounts, they've saved my action cameras and other cameras so many times. They've been such a useful tool in my arsenal of gear, and I always have some sort of car mount with me, whether it's using it inside the cabin on the windshield, or I'm doing an over the shoulder shot. But there's all kinds of tools out there, guys. There's thousands and thousands of tools available at your disposal to use when filming cars. I think it's important for you to be creative and try new things. There may be something that you're doing now that works for you that I've never tried. And if that's the case, please comment down below and let me know what tools you're using and how you're being creative with those things. But yeah, that's the top 5 items that I have in my list that you must have when you're shooting cars. Okay, so now onto the Camera Pro Pack giveaway. This bag is amazing, and it's gonna go to one lucky creator so that they can carry all of their gear. I mean, look how much space is in there. This thing is incredible. This bag is gonna go to one lucky creator who is following me on Instagram, who is subscribed to the channel, and most importantly, this is the key element to winning the bag. You have to post a 15-second story on Instagram of the coolest car video that you've created. I wanna see you using some of these tools, making the dopest video that you can. I don't care what kind of car it is. It doesn't have to be a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. It could be a VW Jetta, but I wanna see you taking some of the tips and tricks that I've taught already on this channel and putting them to use. And I'm gonna give this bag to that creator who's actually putting in the work and the effort to make something. You know what? I have some other stuff that Incase has sent me that maybe I'll even do multiple giveaways, but we'll talk more about that in a future video. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel, and post an awesome video tagging me on a 15-second story on Instagram. Just make sure that you do all those things, and you'll have a pretty awesome chance at winning this bag. And this is worldwide. I'll send it to anywhere. So whoever posts the coolest video and is doing those other 2 things, it's your chance to win. So guys, go out there, shoot some cool stuff. Like always, thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure that you're subscribed, comment, like, do all the cool things that we do here on YouTube. And guys, I look forward to creating more with you. See you later.